Aliens may land this November. A strange object is closing in, faster, stranger, and maybe not alone. This changes everything. It started as a quiet observation. A strange object, officially named Threei Atlas, was detected hurtling toward our solar system in July 2025. At first, scientists assumed it was just another comet, but this one was different. It was massive, nearly 15 miles wide. It was moving in an incredibly erratic orbit with an eccentricity of 6.15, the highest ever recorded for an interstellar object. That means its path is wildly different from the smooth, circular motions of planets and comets we usually see. Even stranger, it's flying against the direction of most celestial bodies in our system. That's when the theories began. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, known for his controversial but thought-provoking ideas, proposed that Threei Atlas could be artificial. He outlined hypothetical ways to intercept and destroy the object if it turned out to be a hostile alien probe. But the public didn't see it as a joke. Within days, conspiracy forums lit up. Theories spiraled. Some said it was a scout ship. Others believed it was AI-controlled. But one detail stuck. Many began claiming that November 2025 would be the date of alien contact or invasion. The idea went viral. Part of the hysteria came from old prophecies. The blind Bulgarian mystic Vanga allegedly predicted that in 2025, a foreign object would arrive on Earth during a major sporting event. Coincidentally, the World Boxing Championship in Astana takes place in early November, and the US Baseball World Series wraps up around the same time. Suddenly, everything lined up too perfectly for some people to ignore. Meanwhile, scientists continue to monitor the object. Some call it just a comet. Others point to the strange thermal signals in its tail, which may not be natural at all. Chinese observatories reportedly detected odd radio pulses on the 1420 MHz hydrogen line, a frequency some believe aliens might use to communicate. And while NASA remains silent, insiders claim that military simulations have been running non-stop drills on how to handle an alien encounter, a crash landing, or even global panic. Threei Atlas was originally expected to pass near the Sun on October 29 and approach Earth at a safe distance in mid-December, or so we thought. But now, several independent astronomers claim the object has altered its course slightly. If their calculations are correct, the new trajectory suggests it could come much closer and much sooner. All signs point to November. So what exactly is Threei Atlas? A massive comet? A rogue interstellar fragment? Or could it be something far more advanced, a probe sent to observe, or to make contact? No one can say for sure. Even scientists admit the data is changing by the day. As Professor Avi Loeb put it, astrophysics isn't fixed. It's a process and it's unfolding in real time. November is coming fast, and with it, maybe something we've never faced before. The internet's been buzzing with one idea. What if it's real? What if this strange object isn't just passing by, but really arriving? And if the invasion really does begin in November, what happens next? Let's discuss. If something or someone is coming, the biggest question is, where will they arrive? It sounds like science fiction, but over the past few months, researchers, military analysts, and internet detectives have been trying to figure out exactly that. Not just for fun, real resources are being directed at this mystery. And a few locations keep coming up again and again. One of the most talked about options is Antarctica. That's not random. It's a continent with no permanent population, full of remote zones completely out of reach for civilians. For decades, satellites have picked up strange anomalies deep under the ice, unnatural geometric shapes, heat signatures from nowhere, and even sudden magnetic pulses. Add to that the fact that dozens of countries have research stations there, but strict limits on who can go where. Some believe that's not just about preserving the environment, it's about keeping certain parts off limits. Then there's the deep ocean. About 80% of Earth's ocean is unexplored. No roads, no cameras, no people. It's the perfect hiding place. The Mariana Trench, Puerto Rico Trench, and other deep-water zones are so poorly understood that even massive objects could move through them undetected. Back in 2018, US Navy sonar operators recorded low-frequency metallic rumbles rising from deep waters off the Pacific. They've never been explained. Today, the theory that the first alien base might not be in the sky, but under the sea is gaining ground. Area 51 also refuses to leave the conversation. Not because of the memes, but because of decades of classified aerospace testing. The airspace above it is one of the most restricted in the world. Recently declassified documents show that the site has been studying exotic propulsion systems since at least the 1980s. So, if extraterrestrials are arriving or already arrived and need to meet someone familiar with off-world tech, that's a likely spot. There are other theories too. Some think they will come down near major communication hubs, places like Silicon Valley, where they could instantly access networks and data centers. Others suspect massive global landmarks like the pyramids or Stonehenge, not for dramatic effect, but because of unexplained electromagnetic anomalies tied to those places. If an alien civilization really does show up this November, they're unlikely to begin with flashing lights or a speech. Experts believe the first move wouldn't even happen on Earth. It would start in orbit. Today, our entire modern world runs on satellites. GPS, weather tracking, television signals, banking systems, internet connections, even military coordination all rely on a complex web of satellites floating just hundreds of miles above us. That makes them the perfect target. Military insiders have run dozens of simulations on this very scenario. The conclusion? Disabling satellites would cripple Earth without firing a single shot on the ground. It would jam communication between governments, blind missile defense systems, and cause chaos in cities within minutes. And here's the kicker: we've already seen signs of how vulnerable space really is. Just a few years ago, a cyber attack targeted a commercial satellite and disrupted its signals for hours. In another case, solar storms fried satellite electronics with zero warning. If nature can do that, imagine what a hyper-advanced species could accomplish. They wouldn't need brute force. A high-frequency pulse, a beam of charged particles, or even remote interference could wipe our systems clean. In fact, some researchers believe that's exactly what Threei Atlas might be designed to do. Its strange trajectory, unstable rotation, and long-distance speed suggest it's built to evade tracking, maybe even test signal interference. Several amateur radio operators have already reported weird interruptions when trying to scan the object's path, static bursts, and unexplained data glitches. If aliens have been observing us, they know we rely on the sky to control the ground. And if something begins this fall, there's a real chance it'll begin without a sound, one blink at a time. 200 miles above Earth. Trying to imagine alien weapons using human logic is a trap, but we still do it. After all, what else can we compare it to? Missiles, lasers, EMPs? The truth is, if another civilization is capable of interstellar travel, they've likely mastered forms of technology we can't fully grasp yet. Still, based on everything we know about physics, energy systems, and materials science, there are a few possibilities that aren't just fantasy. Let's start with directed energy weapons. Think highly focused beams that heat or destabilize targets at the molecular level. Not lasers, more like invisible pressure waves, able to melt steel or collapse buildings without any visible explosion. The United States military has already tested early-stage tech like this using microwaves and infrared bursts. Now imagine that amplified by thousands of years of advancement. Another theory? Gravitational distortion weapons. It sounds like science fiction, but the idea is rooted in real math. By briefly shifting gravity in a concentrated space, a structure or even a group of objects could be crushed or thrown into the air like paper. If aliens harnessed gravity for propulsion, there's a chance they could weaponize it too. Then there's biological interference. Not viruses or anything graphic, but frequency-based manipulation of organic systems. In other words, tech that can disorient, confuse, or shut down specific brain functions. Crowd control weapons that use sound waves already exist here on Earth. In a more advanced form, they might disable humans without even causing harm, just switch off our ability to react. Let's not forget the possibility of self-replicating machines. Imagine thousands of drone-like devices not armed with guns, but programmed to dismantle critical infrastructure, reverse engineer our tech, or simply map every inch of the surface in minutes. Think less Star Wars, more Black Mirror. Interestingly, the strange electromagnetic readings around Threei Atlas suggest it's not just reflecting sunlight like a comet would. Some speculate it's emitting energy, possibly as part of a propulsion system or something more. No known comet behaves this way. If alien ships suddenly appeared in the sky this November, it wouldn't take long before governments responded fast and with force. But the big question remains, do we even stand a chance? Let's look at what Earth actually has. The United States military alone operates a global system of radar, missile defense, advanced fighter jets, submarines, and surveillance drones. NATO forces can mobilize in under 24 hours. China and Russia maintain hypersonic missile systems and space tracking infrastructure that's among the most advanced on the planet. Earth's combined military presence is nothing short of massive. But all of it is designed for one type of war, the kind between humans. Alien forces, assuming they exist, would likely operate on completely different principles. No jet engines, no gunpowder, no predictable movement. If they've reached us from another star system, their technology would be so far beyond ours that even our most advanced weapons might not register as a threat. Think of how a medieval army would stand up to a fighter jet. Now flip that comparison outward into space. Still, Earth wouldn't go down without trying. Military leaders have already confirmed that several space-based defense simulations are running quietly in the background. The United States Space Force, created just a few years ago, works alongside private companies like SpaceX to track orbital threats. Even now, missile systems capable of reaching low orbit are standing by across Europe and Asia. Some are even mobile and camouflaged. In April this year, a multinational military exercise called Sky Shield 25 tested coordinated response to an unknown object entering Earth's atmosphere. It involved drones, airborne radar, and electronic warfare units. Officially, it was just a simulation. Unofficially, it looked a lot like practice for an alien encounter. So would Earth's militaries win a fight? Possibly not, but they would respond instantly with everything they've got. The real danger is that they might not even know what they're aiming at, or whether it can be hit at all. Even without a single shot fired, the moment alien ships appear over Earth, society could break in ways we've never seen before. The first reactions would come within minutes. Cities would light up with sirens. Social media would explode with blurry footage and unverified panic. Streets would flood not with invaders, but with people trying to flee. Real-world studies already show that during blackouts or missile alerts, major cities see instant traffic jams, store shelves emptied, and gas stations overrun in less than 6 hours. Now add a spacecraft hovering above Times Square. Supermarkets would be picked clean by nightfall. ATMs would go dry. In some regions, power grids might collapse simply from overloaded systems, as millions try to call family or download information. In Los Angeles, government emergency drills already factor in unidentified aerial event response plans. Yes, that's a real term. Rural areas would become prime destinations. Any place far from the coast, away from population centers, would start seeing an influx of families looking for safety. A reverse migration out of the cities and into the wilderness might happen in days. And once roads become jammed, entire urban districts could get locked down, not by aliens, but by panic and sheer numbers. It wouldn't be all chaos, though. Some people would try to stay calm, band together, form communities. Religious gatherings would surge, as would fringe groups claiming to welcome the arrival. Emergency broadcasts would run non-stop, while governments scrambled to maintain order. Movies like Signs or The Day the Earth Stood Still often show this kind of panic in neat montages. In reality, the breakdown of order doesn't take weeks, it takes hours. That's what we've seen in real events: power outages, hurricanes, even false missile alerts. The moment people believe control is slipping, they act. And that's the biggest wild card. The aliens wouldn't need to attack to cause disruption. Their presence alone, if timed right, could fracture our systems from the inside out. All they'd have to do is show up. The rest we might do to ourselves. If humans are outmatched by alien tech, there's one question that keeps coming up in defense circles. Could artificial intelligence level the playing field? Over the past few years, AI has transformed everything from self-driving vehicles to battlefield decision-making. In some military zones, drones are now semi-autonomous, scanning terrain and making split-second targeting choices. Defense systems powered by AI can detect hypersonic missiles before human operators even react. That's not science fiction, it's already happening. So what happens when that capability is turned toward the sky? In 2024, a classified program called Sentinel Loop reportedly tested an AI defense module designed to predict the path of objects moving faster than any missile or aircraft. Though the results are still confidential, insiders hinted that its success rate stunned everyone involved. Some even speculated that it was being developed in response to unexplained aerial phenomena. AI is perfect for alien defense, not because it's more violent, but because it doesn't panic. While humans might freeze, argue, or hesitate, AI doesn't care if a target is a comet, a spacecraft, or something we've never seen before. It just processes. And that opens the door to something else: negotiation. If aliens aren't hostile, we may not be the ones to make first contact. We might let a machine do it, a language model, an interpreter, something that can process alien frequencies and translate in real time. Scientists have already trained AI to decode dolphin communication patterns. With the right data, translating a signal from space might not be out of reach. Still, there's a risk. If an alien species recognizes our machines as the dominant intelligence, how will they respond? Will they see humanity as obsolete, or will they treat AI as the voice of our planet? If contact turns into conflict, AI could be our best weapon or our last. And if aliens turn off our systems first, they might not even bother with us at all. They'll fight our code. No lasers, no firestorms, no destroyed cities. If aliens wanted to take Earth without chaos, they probably wouldn't fight us. They'd control us quietly, surgically, without leaving a mess. Experts who've studied possible occupation scenarios agree on one thing: it wouldn't look like war. It would look like management. They wouldn't need to destroy cities. They'd simply shut down key systems power, banking, communications, then offer solutions that make us dependent. New energy sources, new materials, perhaps even cures to diseases. But everything would come with a price: total reliance. Think about how Earth's own empires grew, not by wiping out entire nations, but by offering control in exchange for peace. Trade routes, resource access, influence. A soft invasion, and that's exactly what a technologically superior civilization might choose. We might start seeing drones hovering over major cities, not for attack but to observe and report. Factories could be retrofitted, not by force but by command. Transportation corridors could be rerouted. Even the skies might be monitored 24/7. Not as a battlefield, but as a border. There's precedent for this thinking. In 2022, a classified UN contingency exercise simulated what would happen if a non-human force took control of digital infrastructure. The result? Within 2 weeks, major governments began operating under a single emergency authority. The exercise didn't call it occupation, but that's what it looked like. And maybe we wouldn't even resist. If aliens brought down energy that made fossil fuels obsolete, would people fight back? Or would they accept it quietly because their homes now run on alien tech? Occupation doesn't need chains, it just needs systems that we can't live without. And if they offer something better than what we've built, many might just agree to play by their rules without a shot fired. Not everyone would resist. In fact, some people would celebrate their arrival. And honestly, that might be the most unpredictable part of all. History shows that in times of fear and change, humans often look for something greater to follow. If a superior intelligence appeared something capable of controlling gravity, curing diseases, maybe even extending life, there would absolutely be people who'd choose allegiance over defiance. Even now, groups exist who believe contact has already happened. Some are spiritual, others political. A few claim they've received messages from beings beyond Earth. Most are harmless. But in the context of real arrival, they could become powerful. If aliens offer knowledge, there's no guarantee that governments will be the only ones to listen. Celebrities, influencers, tech billionaires, those with platforms and power, might align themselves with this new force. Not out of fear, but out of ambition. And if the aliens choose a few humans to be their ambassadors, public opinion could shift overnight. Statues have been built for less, and let's not forget the real-world precedent during World War II. There were always collaborators, people who helped occupying forces for money, power, or survival. It's not hard to imagine the same thing playing out again, only this time on a global scale. The terrifying part? Some of them might not see it as betrayal. They'd call it evolution. A step forward, a new world, led not by humans but by those willing to follow what comes next. Not every scenario ends in invasion. Some experts believe that if extraterrestrials really arrive this November, they won't come with weapons, they'll come bearing knowledge. No threats, no demands, just pure technological and scientific advancement. It sounds ideal, but even a peaceful contact could change everything in ways we're not ready for. Picture this: they share unlimited clean energy, faster than light travel, cures to diseases we've battled for centuries. Suddenly, our best scientists are just beginners. Our governments are obsolete. In a flash, thousands of years of progress become irrelevant, replaced by something better. Peaceful, yes, but also deeply destabilizing. This kind of disruption has a name: cultural collapse. It happens when a dominant civilization encounters a more advanced one. It's happened on Earth many times, from ancient empires to isolated tribes. When exposed to foreign ideas, languages, or technologies, traditional cultures often fade rapidly. Rituals disappear, belief systems fracture, power shifts, Now scale that up to a global level. Religions would face serious questions. If beings from another world land and speak of galaxies, alternate dimensions, and the origin of life, countless belief structures could start to unravel. That doesn't mean faith would vanish, but it could fragment. Interpretations would clash. Leaders might try to suppress this information not because it's dangerous, but because it challenges everything. Economies, too, would shake. What happens to fossil fuel markets when a ship hovering over Earth powers itself without a sound? What happens to medicine when a single alien device cures cancer with a pulse of light? Even entertainment could suffer. Why stream movies when you can access a galactic archive of history, art, and knowledge? The balance of power would tilt, not toward any single country, but toward those who are quickest to adapt. The nations that embrace alien tools and knowledge could become unstoppable. Others may fall behind or resist, clinging to outdated systems. Peaceful contact doesn't mean harmless. It means we're left to manage the fallout ourselves. No attacks, no conquest. Just an overwhelming shift in how we see the world and our place in it. If the world makes it through the arrival, whether it's peaceful, chaotic, or something in between, the next chapter begins. Not with war, but with questions. Who speaks for Earth now? How do we rebuild trust, systems, even identity after everything changes? Maybe Earth becomes part of something bigger, a galactic network, a monitored zone, or a protected world under alien oversight. Our cities could be reshaped, our technology upgraded, and our view of the universe permanently altered. Borders may lose meaning. Nations might dissolve or unite, but the most important shift won't be political or technological. It'll be in the way we see ourselves not as rulers of a lonely planet, but as beginners in a much older, larger reality. What we do with that perspective will define everything. That's about it. Do you believe that an alien invasion is possible? Write in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other videos.